he slides out, but it doesn't take too long for Fate to realize that he's being pursued. Fate is able to corner them, giving him a chance to pop off. I respect the DMX fight scenes. It's definitely more practical and more realistic to how somebody would scrap in this type of scenario. Fate is still adamant on saying no, but even so, Sue arrives in the nick of time. So now we have a 2-on-2 and we truly get to see the difference between Fate and Sue's fighting style. Fate is street trained. Meanwhile, Sue is completely trained and smooth with it. Look how clean he is, just putting the jacket back on. Sue completely outclasses his opponent and even does it with one hand in his pocket the entire fight. Fate and Sue are dominating in their fight and ends up knocking them both into a cage, letting two big ass Dobermans out. Fate unlocks the power of the almighty Timberlands and does a backflip on the wall into a front flip. You heard what I said. Even Sue was shocked at the power of the Tims. After they manage to get away from the dogs, Archie calls with bad news. Once Archie finds the pinky ring, Sue immediately tries to give up, but the crowd isn't having that. Apparently the rules are everybody gets to throw hands once you quit. Hey, Sue then one-ups Ip Man and faces 14 MMA fighters at once. He can't keep his hand in his pocket this time. Fate sees his chance to escape and makes a break for it. Yo, I wish I could let you hear this music. The song is X gon' give it to ya! And anybody who's a fan of DMX knows this song. X was actually gonna save this song for his album, but the studio convinced him to put it in the movie soundtrack instead. Fate then takes a four-wheeler and heads out. The owners didn't like that at all, so they start the pursuit immediately. So now we have a back-to-back action scene where Sue defends himself off MMA fighters and Fate runs from the cops and more. Sue gets serious for the first time and starts wrecking shop. Fate's high-speed chase is now going all over LA. Tito Ortiz is finally tired of seeing Sue whoop everybody's ass, so he joins in. Tito then eats a 4-piece, then lands his own jab. Once Sue starts to fight dirty, everybody gets back to jumping. Sue has good defense but quickly needs to retreat. Also, Fate needs to look into extreme sports once he's out the robbing game. The crazy thing about this scene is that DMX really didn't ride the quad, even though he loves the quad.
I don't know if people out there in TV land notice that sometimes when you're driving, you're not really driving, you're on a cart, and they're just pulling you and it looks like you're driving. I don't like that. I didn't like that part at all. Cause I gotta make the face and everything and I'm just being pulled around,
Sue now has the perfect setup to where everyone can come at him pretty much one at a time. finally able to finish enough off, Su makes his exit. Fate then Batmans his way across a few buildings before he is able to hide and get picked up by his crew.
New World Order. 8.7 million for 10 stone.
And once he's finished, the arm dealers in the building immediately go frantic for these diamonds. While that's going on, the crew finds their way to get inside. Archie and Tommy are the first ones to show up with a full-blown tank. This gives Vanessa a chance to run, and one of the henchmen uses this distraction to get his own firepower as well. Su finally runs into Ling, but gets distracted by Ling's girl. Tommy, on the other hand, is just out here firing. Daria shows up to save Su and apparently uses her rope-a-dope style against the female fighter. We then see Su chase after Ling and Fate chase after his daughter. Ling is about to get away, but Archie finally uses the tank and shoots down the helicopter. First, how the fuck did he just get up out that helicopter? Second, the crash turned the scene into another Ring of Fire scenario, similar to the one we saw in Romeo Must Die. Fate finally catches up with his daughter and squares up with the muscle of the henchman. And now the three-way fight scene begins. Ling starts off with those Tekken kick combos, while Daria and Anthony are struggling in their own fight as well. Ling is popping off with these kicks, giving enough distance to kick and not get hit. Su finally catches him in the air. Their dance is hell of impressive and is far above the final fight scene from Romeo Must Die. I even like this bob and weave dance they partake in. Daria is in a good dance herself, and just as her opponent just couldn't take it anymore, she decides to get the strap. Daria does a clean counter maneuver and lets her pop on her own self. My dog Su comes back with his own Tekken kick combos though. The only reason Fate is having a hard time is because not only he's fighting, but he is also protecting his daughter as well. But once again, slick maneuvering secured him the victory in this fight.
Wrong kid! Definitely the wrong father.
Su wraps up his fight as well by being able to put one of those explosive black diamonds inside of Ling's throat. Hey, just throwing it out there, but Jet Li was able to do 2 back-to-back fatalities in his movies. Wanjie goes through a whole separate trial just to get to the fight. And once Zhao starts talking more cash money, Wang Jie decides to take a shortcut and get straight to the point. They get to dancing, and Wang Jie realizes that Zhao will be a tougher opponent than he thought. Zhao's heart and muscles is neutralizing any hits that Wang Jie is making. Once he understood that a bunch of consecutive normal punches will not work, he starts dropping haymakers. Not only that, but he starts aiming at the pressure points that you cannot harden no matter how hard you try. Zhao makes the necessary adjustments and gets right back at it. While a good comeback effort was made, Wang Jie was able to find the flaws in his style and time those counters perfectly. Zhao loses his balance, and Wang Jie tries to save him, but doesn't make it in time. And unfortunately, he falls to his death, shocking the whole audience with a sight that they will never forget. Oh shit, never mind. But he doesn't want to hear any of that, and this is the final straw. It unfortunately causes him to cut ties with his best friend just so he can have his match. They start their match with a sword fight, and you can tell off rip that they have the intent to kill. Master Chin's advantage is utilizing both hands during key moments to double the strength of his swings, forcing Wang Jie to cover more defense. Master Chin draws first blood while the restaurant is also taking a beating, symbolizing the destroyed friendship as well. Wang Jie gets to draw blood as well, then they get back to dancing. After leaping around the second floor, they both take a second to embrace the fact that this is really about to happen, and then they get back to somebody's final dance. Master Chin's two-hand tactic finally bears fruit, and it gains him the momentum. Wang Jie tries to retreat for a second to gain back his footing, but Master Chin is on that ass. Beautiful shot of dancing symmetry right here. Wang Jie finally counters his sword and hits him with a critical kick. This knocks enough wind out of Master Chin for Wang Jie to start delivering some devastating blows. Wang Jie's rage finally ends with him caving Master Chin's chest in. Wang Jie exits as the victor, and his students celebrate his victory the only way they know how. Yo, the fact that these boys went across the street while Master Chin is leaving in a stretcher is savage.
告诉他，在擂台上以命相搏是中国历来的陋习， 可我们有另一种传统，叫以武会友。
He wants to kick your butt.
You instigating ass nigga! The match starts and O'Brien lets Wanjie get the first hit to show off his tenacity. Then he tries to return the favor with 2 hooks and a right. But once he realized his hands was too slow, he then decides to use his overwhelming weight and strength to his advantage. Wanjie has the perfect style of dance for his attack. The only thing that's giving Wanjie a hard time are those bear hugs, but once he's able to get past those, everything else is light work. He continues to use his own weight and balance against him. O'Brien was about to hit him with a swan dive, but not only does he counter that, but Wanjie also displays a, "Hey bro, I could've took your life as well. Remember that." Wanjie tries to gracefully leave, but O'Brien couldn't handle the loss and attacks him once more. Wanjie saves him from his own screw-up, and that finally makes O'Brien acknowledge him as the winner. The victory has now made waves all over the front headlines. Meanwhile, the 4th match is about to begin, and Tanaka is not comfortable at all with how things are going. He even tells Wanjie that they can throw hands another time if he likes, but Wanjie says he must commit to the smoke that he's agreed to. For this fight, Tanaka sticks with the straight sword, while Wanjie wields the 3-section staff. Even though the fight starts off with a good dance, Tanaka is at a disadvantage. The staff's flexibility and reach is a problem for Tanaka. Even though he makes the necessary adjustments, his final problem is the wielder of the weapon himself. Wanjie then unlocks his inner Captain Ginyu and weapon switches with his opponent. Once it is apparent that Tanaka does not know how to work the staff, they politely return each other's weapon. This time Tanaka was completely ready and neutralizes the staff. Doing this, however, turned them into 2 steel batons for Wanjie to wield. While the match ends with a draw, the chairman was able to switch Wanjie's tea with an unknown substance. The second match starts, and after a couple of moves, Wanjie immediately starts to feel like something's off. Before you know it, he's throwing up the poison from the tea. Tanaka calls for an immediate timeout, and when Wanjie gets back to his corner, he lets everyone know that he was poisoned. He dismisses the thought of revenge though, and accepts his fate with more hopes of peace. His acceptance is also the final lesson to his students. With that, he decides to continue the match until the very end. One of the chambermen come down and peer pressures Tanaka to finish him off while he's weak. But he's pretty much had enough of this shit, and if it wasn't for Wanjie himself, he would have been slid out a long time ago. His school gives him a final hurrah as he walks up the stairs. Tanaka one more time tries to plead with Wanjie to stop the match, but Wanjie insists. This is when Tanaka tells him that he will give him a warrior's death then. Bruh, the respect in this ring is strong as hell. The fight starts and it's just as emotional as you thought it was going to be. The actual movie plays a beautiful ballad. There's no sound except for the strings, and the only time you hear anything connect is the one that chips away at Wanjie's life the hardest. Wanji is a man who wishes to die on his shield, so he stays a warrior the entire dance. I will talk about one move specifically though, because it's very important. Wanji's final step actually broke the guard of Tanaka and successfully was able to aim specifically at the same spot that ended Master Chin. But like Wanji said himself, he finally understood why his father stopped. And he ends the match with pure satisfaction. And knowing that Tanaka knows too. I mean, look at that smile. That's a happy smile. That smile is like, yeah, you know what's up. You know what just happened. The next movie I'm going to talk about is Flashpoint. Like if you like the video, subscribe if you like the content. Until next time, y'all be easy.